Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today with this little guide of some sort, I'm trying to help those who want to buy a pair of wireless earbuds for themselves or for their loved ones for the first time, but don't really know where to start. Well, if you are watching this, you have already made a very important first step and started your research. But what's next? I will tell you right after the intro. So in this video I'm going to go through all the key factors you have to take into consideration before buying in-ear buds. I'm not going to talk about traditional over-ear headphones or wired earphones either, as that's beyond the scope of this video. What I'm also not going to do is telling you exactly which buds to buy. I might give you a few options here and there, but it's not a best earbuds you can buy kind of video. It's rather just a general guide on what to pay attention to when purchasing wireless earbuds. Now, with all that out of the way, let's dive into it. Even if we talk about wireless in-ear buds only, there are still a few different options when it comes to design and form factor. First, there is the neckband design, which might not be the most popular and it's not my personal favorite either, but these earbuds have some advantages over smaller buds, such as longer single charge battery life, more features and better controls in general, but they are big, bulky and not quite as comfy as truly wireless earbuds. So let's focus on those instead. True wireless earbuds are smaller, more lightweight, more comfortable and more portable, and they come with a carry case which also functions as a charger for the earbuds. These buds come in every shape and form, but usually they are kind of rounded or pebble shaped to fit in your ears easily. And let's not forget about earbuds with a stem, you know, those AirPods-like ones, as these are still extremely popular these days. There are countless different stem-style earbuds on the market, as most people find them very comfortable, but there is one more advantage of this category. The longer the stem, the closer the microphones are to your mouth, so in general you can expect better phone call quality from such earbuds. The Apple AirPods Pro or the One More ComfoBuds Pro are indeed two of the best buds I've ever tested as far as voice transmission quality goes. And since I mentioned the AirPods, the biggest difference I found between the original AirPods and the Pros, beside the extra features of course, was adding those silicone ear tips to the Pros, which made a huge improvement in terms of their fit. And the fit of your earbuds is key, as a good fit can improve sound quality, comfort and the passive noise isolation of the buds as well. And the bad fit can actually ruin the whole experience for you. I had earbuds in for testing with an AirPods-like design and they kept falling out of my ears, so I couldn't even test them at the end. It's the same reason why you probably won't see AirPods reviews on this channel, but I digress. Back to the fit. If you need buds for casual everyday use, then you can choose basically any buds with or even without silicone ear tips, as long as they stay in your ears. But if you need them for exercise, then you probably should get something with not only ear tips, but also some sort of ear wings or arch stabilizers. These fins can give you support and a more secure fit in your ears, making the buds more suitable for gym use or running. But if you want the most secure fit possible, you will probably need to opt for buds with an ear hook, which can keep the buds in place regardless of what you do. Those buds with a hook tend to be a bit larger of course, and some people swear by them while some have issues with the design, so you will have to see it for yourself if it works for you or not. But whether you choose fins, hooks or stems, you will always have a better chance to get the optimal fit and comfort if you have multiple sets of those silicone ear tips to choose from. They always come in different sizes, so the more you have, the more likely you will find one that fits your ears the best. The minimum is 2 or 3 pairs you can find in a box, but it can go up to 7 or 8 sets with certain brands and certain models. Some manufacturers also provide you with memory foam tips, and you can always buy third-party tips if you want to improve the comfort and the seal of your buds in your ears. And while talking about design, there is one specific category which kind of fits in between headphones and earbuds, while it's practically neither of those two, but I believe we have to talk about it. And that's bone conduction headphones, which use a completely different technology to create sound, and as a result they can leave your ears open, providing you with better situational awareness. This feature alone makes them perfect for runners and cyclists. Actually, most running events only allow you to use open-ear headphones during a race, so that might be something to keep in mind too. And also, some people simply don't like their ears plugged in, and those with certain hearing issues would possibly also find a bone conduction headset useful. Sound quality is not on par with what in-ear buds and their traditional drivers can deliver, but some sound is still better than no sound at all in my opinion. Next we have to talk about battery life and charging. Okay, the battery life of the buds is kind of obvious. It tells you how long the buds will last on a single charge. Manufacturers tend to publish their own numbers, usually based on a best-case scenario, with volume only at around 50 or 60%, using the lowest quality codec available, which we will talk about in a minute. So 8 hours on the spec sheet might mean 6 or 7 hours only in your case, if you tend to listen to your earbuds a bit louder or want to use a different codec. And as I told you, true wireless earbuds come in a case which has its own battery as well. It charges your earbuds every time you put them back in the case. So there is the total battery life, which is what the buds and the case can do together. It usually gives you 2-3 times more playtime than the buds alone, or even more. And when the case runs out of juice, you will have to charge it by either plugging in a cable or using a wireless charging pad if your case is compatible with the Qi wireless charging standard. It can make your life a bit easier, so watch out for that feature if you need the wireless charging option. If you prefer the good old cables, you will more than likely have to use a USB Type-C cable, but you can still find some older models which come with either micro USB or a Lightning port. Regardless of what port you have to use, you will get a short cable in the box with most earbuds though, so at least you don't need to buy them separately. And somewhat continuing the story with cables, another important aspect to keep in mind is compatibility. And I mean that sometimes it's worth considering what phone you use and make a buying decision accordingly. For example, iPhone users might be better off with something like AirPods or Beats, as those buds can offer you features which are only available on Apple devices. It doesn't mean they won't work with Android or Windows, it's just that you will more than likely lose some functionality there. Samsung earbuds have a few features as well which would only work if you have a Samsung phone or tablet. In general, most earbuds are compatible and work with all sorts of devices, but keep an eye on specific features which might be limited to a certain brand or ecosystem. And that brings up another question: whether you need a smartphone app for your earbuds or not. Most affordable buds come without an app, which leaves you with no option to do any customization of its functions, and you will not have the option to upgrade the firmware of your buds that easily down the road either. But most earbuds, let's say above the $80 or $100 mark, come with some sort of an app, which usually means both an Android and an iOS version. I'm not going into how many features, settings and options you can get in an app, but I believe the more flexible an app is, the better. With the best apps, you can fully customize the controls, the sound and the noise cancelling performance of your earbuds, for example. Soundcore, Jabra, Sony, Samsung, Jaybird, Sennheiser, one more JBL or LG are just a few companies that can give you a comprehensive set of features in their respective apps. I would like to highlight two features though, which in my opinion can make or break earbuds. One is the controls and the other one is the active noise cancellation. You have two options when it comes to controlling your earbuds. You either have touch controls or actual physical buttons. And while touch controls are probably more popular, I believe that good physical controls can be more reliable across all use cases, and let's say you can also use them with a hat or even with gloves on. Touch controls tend to be more finicky in that regard. On to the active noise cancellation, that seems to be the most discussed feature of earbuds these days. Well, without digging deep into the topic, you will have to decide whether you need ANC in the first place or you are good without it. Most earbuds over $60 can offer you some sort of an ANC, which you can easily turn off most of the time, so maybe you don't even have to make that decision after all. But make sure you check out what different modes you need, because because a hear-through or transparency mode can be essential if you want to use your earbuds in busy places or on the road without completely losing awareness of your surroundings. Commuting and traveling usually requires a strong ANC feature too, so if that's what you need earbuds for, then ANC must be on the spec list for sure. But referring back to the fit of the earbuds, the tighter the fit, the better passive noise isolation you can get, and that can result in an improved ANC performance as well, so the proper fit is key here once again. The Bluetooth connection of the earbuds is a bit of a complicated topic, as you can find different chipsets with different Bluetooth versions and different features on board. Recently, most earbuds use either Bluetooth 5.0, 5.1 or 5.2, which is the most recent of them all. Without going into the technical details, what you have to look out for is a couple of features here, such as fast pairing, single bud mode, latency or multi-point use. Fast pairing makes pairing the buds easy with certain devices, and you might find a difference here between iOS and Android again, depending on which system the chip inside your earbuds is more optimized for. Single bud or mono mode means that you can use each of the buds independently, so while one is in your ear, the other one can be charged inside the case. Not all earbuds on the market support this feature, but most do. But what is really hard to find even these days is earbuds with support for multi-point use. This feature makes it possible to connect your earbuds to multiple devices simultaneously, and then switching between them happens either automatically or manually depending on your needs. Working with a computer while handling phone calls at work might be a scenario where this feature can come in handy, but still, there are not many earbuds out there that support this feature. The Soundcore Liberty 3 Pro or certain Jabra models come to mind, but that's pretty much it. There is Apple and Samsung again, who can do this automatic switching, but only if you stay within their respective bubbles and use their products only. Latency comes into play if you want to use your earbuds for watching movies or playing games, and you want the audio to be in sync with the video. Some earbuds perform better than others, and some earbuds even have a dedicated movie or gaming mode, which generally means lower latency, so make sure you get something with such feature if this is important to you. And there is one more connection-related topic we need to talk about, and that's audio codecs. But what's an audio codec? Well, it is something that encodes and decodes or compresses and decompresses the digital data stream, which is being transferred from your phone to your earbuds through Bluetooth. So it can have a major influence on how the earbuds work and how they perform when it comes to music playback or even battery life. Most, if not all, earbuds come with two basic codecs, SBC and AAC, which work on most devices, iOS, Android, Windows, whatever. But if you find earbuds with anything like LDAC, aptX or LHD support, which are capable of providing you with a better quality audio stream due to their higher bit rates, it will only work with compatible devices, but not an iPhone, for example, as Apple does not support any of those codecs at all. This codec thing might seem complicated, but it's no big deal, as AAC is still a great codec, and you might not even be able to tell the difference between any of these when listening to music, because there are simply too many other factors that have an effect on sound quality anyway. And using LDAC or aptX can not only improve sound quality or latency, but they have their own quirks too. For example, they tend to use more power, draining your batteries faster, and connection stability is not something they all excel at, so keep that in mind. But now let's move on to something different and talk about IP ratings. If you want earbuds for sports or for outside use, then you will definitely need something with a higher level of weather protection, and that's where the IP rating of the earbuds come into play. IP stands for ingress protection, and it's usually followed by two numbers. The first digit refers to the level of protection against dust and other particles, while the second number tells you how water resistant the buds are. The higher the number, the better the protection. Most of the time you will see something like IPX4, X meaning no protection against dust at all, and 4 meaning only a basic level of protection against sweat and splashes. IP68 on the other hand gives you full protection against dust, and you can even swim with such earbuds as they are fully sealed and waterproof. But being able to swim with earbuds doesn't mean you can use them in the pool, because radio signals are blocked by the water, which will kill your Bluetooth connection. If you want earbuds for swimming, you will need something with an onboard storage. Sony, Aftershokz, Naenka, JBL and some other brands also have models with an MP3 player on board, so if you want to take your favorite tunes or podcast into the swimming pool with you, then you will have to look out for that particular feature. Next thing we should discuss is the correlation between your musical taste and the sound signature of the buds you are going to buy. There are some earbuds with a more bass-dominant or warm sound, which can suit genres such as R&B or hip-hop. There are some buds with a more dynamic, V-shaped sound, which might come in handy for EDM or pop, for example, and there are some more flat or neutral-sounding ones, which you might want to use for acoustic or instrumental music. I know it's just a broad generalization and it doesn't even apply to everyone, and there is the question of the fit again, which can fundamentally change how the buds sound in your ears. A tighter fit usually means better and deeper bass and a more dynamic sound altogether. And let's not forget EQing, which means that you can change how the buds sound using different settings and sliders and whatnot. Some earbuds come with an equalizer feature in their smartphone apps, some don't, but there is always the option to use third-party EQ apps so you can play around with the sound of your earbuds. But the main takeaway here is to choose earbuds with a default sound which is as close to your own taste as possible. And make sure you don't just watch one video with someone's opinion in it, because we all have different ears and musical preferences, including yours truly, but the more reviewers describe a product as bass heavy, for example, the more likely it's going to be actually true. And back to the fit again for a second, it keeps coming up with regards to almost every single feature, and that should tell you how important a good fit is. I know that there is hardly any chance these days to try and use earbuds before buying them, which makes testing the fit in your ears kind of impossible, and that's where I have to mention that most brands offer a free return guarantee as long as you buy the buds from their official online store. I believe Amazon does it too, and maybe hundreds of other stores that I'm not familiar with, but that's not the point. The point is that you can return your buds within a certain time period, which can be anywhere from 14 days to even 90 days with some manufacturers. And that should give you plenty time to figure out whether the fit, the sound and all the other features of the buds are really what you were looking for. If not, or if there is something wrong with the buds, which happens to be the case more often than not these days, believe me, you can pack up the buds and send them back to the manufacturer and get a full refund, no questions asked. But make sure you look it up before ordering anything, because terms and conditions might vary not only from brand to brand or from shop to shop, but from country to country too. And I left the budget or price to last on purpose because it's kind of an obvious one. You should know how much money you want or can afford to spend on a new pair of earbuds. There are always deals to be found, so it might be worth doing a little bit of a research and have a good look around. You can always wait a month or two after a brand new release, so the prices might drop a little. And buying a model from last year is not the end of the world either. Unless you run into compatibility or functionality issues, of course, but even the true wireless earbuds industry, which is kind of a hot topic these days, is not as fast-paced in terms of R&D that a one-year-old bud would become obsolete soon. And the other good thing is that now you can get decent looking and relatively good sounding earbuds for $30 or euros, so you don't need to spend an arm and a leg to get something you can use on a daily basis. Of course, if you fancy the latest tech, the most up-to-date features or exotic materials, you can easily end up spending $300 or $400 or even more, but again, it's up to your own budget. Now, to sum it up, there are literally hundreds if not thousands of different earbuds out there for you to choose from. It can be confusing, I give you that. But without repeating myself, all I think you should do before buying anything is doing your own research, reading and watching as many reviews as you can, asking a little bit around, checking the specs and trying to figure out what you really need the earbuds for and choose one accordingly. Or get two separate pairs. I get a lot of questions about which earbuds you should buy and which is the one that does everything the best. Well, there is no such thing. And if you want to use your earbuds in many different scenarios during their lifetime, you might want to consider buying one for commuting and another one for running, for example. The first one being tailored for noise cancelling and the latter one being used for its energetic sound and ruggedness maybe. Or buy one for work with good phone call quality and another smaller, more comfortable one for sleeping or casual daily use. And I could go on, but I hope you get what I'm trying to say. You don't need the most expensive buds, you can get 2 more affordable sets for the price of one, and you might even get better functionality across the two than you would get with only one. It's all up to you and what you are going to use the buds for. So at the end of the day, the decision is yours, of course, and all I ask you to do is being thorough in your research and make sure you buy something you actually need and not something a manufacturer makes you think you need, if you know what I mean. And just in case you might want a few options, I will leave affiliate links in the description below for a few of my favorite earbuds which I believe to be worthy of your consideration. And this was my little guide for shopping earbuds. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'm more than happy to answer your questions, so if you have any, just comment away down below. Thanks for watching, see you next time.